Places have changed, faces have aged. Memories are starting to fade, one day at a time. Remember, I'm here with you. You're trying so hard just to keep up. Every day's a chance to restart. I'll still be here, trying to pull you through. Every word that's forgotten, every note left unsung. Trust in me, just hold my hand and take me with you. Bring me into a world no one else can walk through. Hold my hand, 'cause I'm still with you. Love teaches hope, that love teaches joy, enable the ones who are frozen in time. Imagine our hearts choosing to shine on a journey that's yours and mine, yours and mine. Hold my hand and take me with you. Bring me into a world no one else can walk through. Hold my hand. Hold my hand. 'Cause I'm still with you.
When I was young, you held me near. Storms would pass and I never fear. Your smile and kisses I'd hold so dear helped me to be strong. Remember places we've explored, sights and sounds above us all. Memories you don't recall are those I've not forgot. When we cannot see, doesn't mean we'll get lost. When we cannot hear, it doesn't mean we cannot talk. Those crazy years of fighting are now long gone, and I hope you'll sing to me once more. The things
Welcome to the Enabling Festival 2020. I'm Guan, your host for this segment of Short and Talk. Now, due to the present pandemic situation, the Enabling Festival 2020 will be traveling into your home. Now, the festival aims to explore, challenge, and shape perceptions and understanding of dementia and caregiving through technology and creative arts. Now, this year, we will focus on the sense of sight. As part of the festival, we are very glad to present a short film, The Helping Hand, specially commissioned by Enable Asia for the Enabling Festival 2020. Now, The Helping Hand is a story that digs deep into the underbelly of familiar neighbourhoods in Singapore, telling the story of the human dynamic between the primary caregiver, the transitional domestic helper, and the person living with dementia. Today, we're here to have a chat with Koh Chong Wu, the director of the film, before we screen the short film. Hello, Chong Wu.
Hello, hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. I know you're a busy person, so thank you for taking time off your busy schedule to join us here. Now, would you like to share a little bit more about yourself so that we can get to know you better?
Okay, well, I think I'm a filmmaker. I've been in
That's
the industry
cool.
for about 7 years. So I started out doing more corporates, but over the years I've had the opportunity and I'm fortunate enough to start working on my own content, my own short films, and yeah, that's more or less where I'm heading towards now in terms of my career.
Great. So you've done numerous films, short films, right? Now, one I would remember very, very clearly would be something titled 当你老了, When You're Old. Now, the reason why I remember that so clearly is because it was screened at the inaugural Enabling Festival back in 2018, all right? So, so glad that you're able to join us this year in 2020. Now, tell us a little bit more about this short film of yours. What's the inspiration behind it?
So the inspiration behind the film is actually Danny, the co-founder of Enable. I got to know him through a common friend, and at a point of time I was actually looking for an idea for a short film, and after I got to know Danny, we had a bit of conversation, we chatted a bit, and I found out about his situation. Him being the primary caregiver for his mom, who's suffering from dementia. And after hearing, him share with us some of the experience that he encountered with his mother, it gave me a lot of visual images in my mind, and immediately I thought that that would be a very good basis for a short film. So that's one of the very starting ground. But also because while listening to his story, it reminded me a little bit of my own grandmother who also had dementia at that point of time. But because my family is quite big, so I don't get to interact a lot with her, but occasionally, from time to time, she does stay with us. And that's when I get to see very firsthand, how my mom has to take care of someone with dementia. And it was short term, but it was not easy. So, when I think back about Danny having to, be with his mom 24/7, every moment of the day, I can actually empathize and feel how tough it could be, the challenges that he faced, and that gave me the inspiration to want to share his story, because I'm sure the story is relatable to many people who are in the same who are in similar situation, and that became the basis, of the short film.
Oh, okay. So did it take very long for you to actually put the whole thing together?
I think I met up with Danny quite a few rounds, about 4 or 5 rounds, to talk about the various situations, the various scenarios that he remembered from, his interaction with his mother. And then we talked at length, which are the scenarios that he feels strongly for, which are the scenarios that we feel that would relate to people more. And then from there, we crafted the script, we crafted the scenes that we want to work on, and then went on to the logistics, getting the crew, getting the actors, getting the talents. And then all in all, the whole process, I would say, took us about a good 3 to 4 months before we actually went on into production.
I see. No, this film is not exactly about Danny and his mother, right? But the basis of it. Okay,
correct.
but you also mentioned something about your grandmother from years back having this problem, right, of dementia. So how much would you say is the film based on Danny's experience and your own family's experience?
I think the scenarios that you see in the film are mainly based on actual day-to-day events that happened to Danny and his mom. But then, like you said, that's an inspiration.
Right.
That's the basis where we came out from. A lot of people, based on our research, because I've also started talking to my dad, my mom, also started talking to other friends who have family members that are dealing with dementia, and you come to the conclusion that a lot of them actually face similar situation.
Right.
Yeah. So we tried to find, out of all the possible scenarios, situations that we feel is quite shared among caregivers and people who are dealing with dementia. So, because there are definitely a lot more stories that we can bring
Right.
together, but we wanted something that when audiences see it, for people who are actually living with dementia or people with dementia, they would feel for, but at the same time, it would educate people who are not so familiar with the topic, give them a bit more information, a bit more insight into the life of, people who are actually dealing with the situation.
Right, okay. So what is the message, Chong Wu, that you want to convey in this short film of yours?
I think we want, the key thing is definitely to raise awareness,
Right.
For people
Okay.
to have a better understanding about dementia in that sense.
And being
but
a
also,
caregiver as well, right?
correct. And also to, sort of like use the film as a form of encouragement for caregivers specifically, like you mentioned just now, as a form of encouragement for caregivers. So that are some of the two key things that, because it's ongoing, it's not something that would, once you have dementia, or once someone in your family has dementia, it's not something that would cure or something that would get better. It's going to
in a
be
short
a
time,
long
yeah.
battle.
Right,
so
right,
so
right.
that sense of encouragement is what we want to, or rather me and Danny wanted to achieve through the film. And then the secondary would then to be educate people who are not so aware of the situation, giving them an insight into the world.
All right. Okay, I know making films is really not easy. So in this particular situation, when you're doing this short film, what are some of the challenges that you face that might be a little bit different from your other projects?
I think when you're dealing with pure narrative story, pure fiction, you have some certain level of liberty, with regards to the realities of what happens in the story. But when you're doing something that is almost like a documentary, I mean, this is a narrative. This is a narrative short film, definitely. But there is a very strong documentary approach to it.
Right.
You're almost like observing the actual life of someone. So that in itself is a challenge. Making sure that the scenario that we portray, the scenes that we show on screen is believable, is real, is relatable to audiences, can reach out to them. So that in itself is one challenge. So then that brings on to a lot more other challenges that we have to face. Like, for example, finding the right actors and the right talent.
Right.
I think at one point, me and Danny was discussing, okay, who should we get in as the actor? But I think after a few discussion, having this being inspired by his own story, we decided that, why not? You just, give it a go and, work with, and let Danny have a go at portraying the character. But that turned out to be quite challenging when filming itself, because it is actually based on his story. So, and some of them are pretty impactful scenarios that he had to deal with, and having to relive that moment during filming is quite emotionally straining for him, as I can see. But sometimes when we have to, technicalities, you have to go for another take, you have to
Right.
go for a second take.
Right.
It adds on to the stress and the pressure that Daniel has to deal with. And then at the same time, finding the location, so these are a lot of the standard logistic things that we have to face too, but the added layer of challenge will then be, how do we make it real?
Okay. But the fact that you got Danny involved, and I'm sure his emotions are really, really real. So I think that would be an achievement. I'm looking forward to that. But going back to your 2015 short film, When You're Old, it was about dementia, of course, and it won first prize for Singtel 5-minute video challenge. Okay. So what's the difference between that short film, When You Are Old, and this one, A Helping Hand?
I see of it as a continuation to a certain extent.
Like a part 1, part 2 thingy, huh?
Yeah, correct. Like a part 1,
okay.
part 2 to a
Okay.
certain extent. But
Okay.
at the same time, again, both films are a collection of scenarios that apply to many people. I think in the first film, what we did was to showcase the immediate family members.
Right.
But then in the second one, we wanted to expand in a certain way, expand the perspective a little bit more. Because, like, for example, for some people, they are the sole caregiver and they might be the only relative that's taking care of the sufferer.
Right.
And then definitely, they need additional help in that sense. If not, how else can they go out to work, to provide for the family? So that is when helpers come in. Some of them hire nurses to come in on part-time basis. Some of them hire long-term domestic helper to actually support. And then, when you have someone staying with you in your household that is not familiar to either of the caregiver or the person suffering dementia, it adds on a different layer of challenges to it, and that's something that we want to portray. How do the caregiver allow someone open up their heart and let someone new come into their family life that is already, that has really a lot of obstacles, and then at the same time, for the domestic helper that actually come into the family, how do they then adjust themselves to, it's not as simple as just cooking and cleaning. Now there is someone who is actually dealing with a certain illnesses that you have to take care of. So these are the things that a helping hand wanted to expand upon, that is more than just what When You're Old had shown.
Alrighty, thank you, Chong Wu, for sharing so much with us about this short film of yours, A Helping Hand, and I'm sure all of us are looking forward to it. So thank you and all the best in your future undertakings. All right?
Thank you.
Sir, I'm done
Hey.
packing.
Just join me for a drink.
Okay, sir.
Come sit. Thank you for everything that you have done for me. Yeah, for all these years.
Yes, sir. You're welcome, sir.
Can drink, right?
Yes.
Wonderful. There you go.
Halika, upo ka dito.
Hey, yeah, come.
Sige po.
Let's have a little celebration.
Sir, what?
What happened?
I don't know.
What
Sorry,
happened?
sorry. I don't know. Come, ma'am.
痛吗？对痛不痛？我叫 ambulance，OK？Take care of mommy。
Okay, sir.
Wash that.
Okay.
再做蛋糕给你吃，香吗？香不香？香。现在我们倒进去。Now what do you do? We pray. We pray that the cake will rise. 要 pray 啊？做梦？要做梦？要睡觉啊？累啊？要睡觉啊？对啊。I'm going to sleep.
I take her to sleep?
But I scared she later tonight cannot sleep. Why do you bring her downstairs?
Myself?
Yeah.
Oh.
Go. Go, hurry up.
Okay, come, mom. You strap in first. Come here. Like this. Okay, bye-bye. Mom, you want water? I get water for you.
Hello.
Oh, okay.
Hey, the
Our
cake is ready.
Oh,
Yes.
later. Okay.
Right.
I open now.
Who's that?
Oh, she works at 428. Then
Okay.
she invited me for a picnic on Sunday.
Okay. What do you enjoy her?
Maybe next time when mom is better.
Okay, I think you should join her.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah,
have fun.
thank you, sir. Okay.
Try 我做的 cake， 好吃吗？
Okay.
好吃吗？
啊？
好吃吗？我做的。
Thank you for watching our program. We hope you can help us to fill in a simple survey using the QR code provided at the end of the program. Now, this will help us to improve as well as to fulfill our funding requirements from our various funders. Please help. Now, if you have any questions or if you wish to find out more about the Enabling Festival 2020, please visit our Facebook page, Instagram, and website to see what we have lined up for you. Drop us a message on any of the social media platforms. You can also write to enablingfestival@gmail.com and our colleagues will reply to you as soon as they can. Take care and stay safe.
Hi, my name is Danny. I'm the co-founder for the Enabling Festival. We hope you can support us by pledging $1 or more to the Enabling Festival 2020 via this link below. This pledge will enable the festival to further its cause and implement more initiatives for a collective impact which has societal benefits for the dementia community and caregivers. Dementia is a very real issue that could happen to you and me. We sincerely appeal to you to walk this journey with us. So come and participate in the various programs. We hope to see you online at the Enabling Festival 2020. Thank you.
When we cannot see, doesn't mean